TOEFL Writing 2026, complete overview of the new writing section, the 3 tasks, timing, scoring, tips for success. And this is Michael Buckoff from BetterTOEFLScores.com. So what's new in 2026? 3 new writing tasks, more practical real-world English, faster pacing, only 23 minutes total, scoring aligned to the CEFR scale A1 through C2, more focus on clarity, tone, and functionality. The 3 writing tasks. Build a sentence. Arrange scrambled word chunks into a correct, meaningful sentence. Write an email. Respond to a scenario by addressing 3 to 4 bullet points in a short, organized email. Academic discussion. Write a discussion board style post responding to a professor plus classmates. You'll have a total time of 23 minutes. So build a sentence, you're looking at about 6 to 8 minutes. Write an email, you have about 7 minutes. Academic discussion, you have 10 minutes. Scoring overview. Every task is scored from 0 to 4 based on task completion, did you follow instructions, organization and clarity, grammar and vocabulary accuracy, appropriate tone and register, relevance. You want to make sure you stay on topic. How the CEFR relates to your TOEFL writing score. TOEFL Writing 2026 aligns each task 0 to 5 with the CEFR levels A1 to C2. Higher CEFR levels equals clear, more effective communication. High scoring responses show accurate grammar and vocabulary, logical organization, smooth natural flow of ideas, tone appropriate to the context. The goal, write in a way that is easy to understand, precise, and purposeful. General tips for the entire section. Above all, read instructions carefully. Keep language clear and simple. Support ideas with examples in tasks 2 and 3. Use transitions for flow. Manage time aggressively. Avoid rewriting the prompt. Don't overthink. Communicate meaning first. Task 1. Build a sentence. What is it exactly? Rearrange 5 to 7 word chunks. You must match the prompt's meaning. No typing is involved. This tests grammar, word order, and clarity. So in the first task, you'll click word chunks to form a correct sentence. This task checks if you understand English word order and basic syntax. It's quick, but accuracy really matters. What ETS scores for task 1? 40% is word order. You must put the words in the right order. 40% is the grammar form, and 20% is the meaning clarity. So a perfect score means the words are in the right order, the grammar is correct, and the sentence makes complete sense. Even one small word order mistake can change your meaning, so be careful. Patterns you must know. And I'll go into more detail in other videos on this playlist with this. But WH questions, for some reason, are going to be pretty common on this new task. So the WH word as a subject, the yes-no questions, indirect questions. So to master task 1, memorize these 4 sentence patterns that you see. You have, actually I didn't say the first one, WH questions with auxiliary. So these 4 are important. Most questions fit one of these. If you recognize the pattern, you'll know the correct word order almost instantly. Example, build a sentence. So you'll read, I'm taking a cooking class this weekend. And then you'll see these words, learn, you, recipes, what, will. So the correct sentence here, this is knowing WH word order, what recipes will you learn? So this one follows a WH question pattern. Notice the order, the WH word, the auxiliary, the subject, and the base verb. So that's the key. So let's do some quick practice. And I'm thinking it's going to be about 45 seconds that you'll have to unscramble each sentence. So you'll read, I heard you're organizing a study group for the midterm. And then you'll see study group join I, can, your, and when. So this is just a quick practice item. So take a minute, pause the video, try to arrange these chunks into a correct sentence that matches the situation. Ready? Okay, the correct answer is, when can I join your study group? So it's short, natural, and grammatically perfect. So it'll be about 45 seconds per sentence. Now, here's how the timing works. Now, we don't know exactly. I have no idea exactly, but this is what I'm thinking. The total writing section time is 23 minutes. So with task 1, build a sentence, you have 6 to 8 minutes. So more than likely, the number of items you will see, it's about 6 to 12 sentences. So it means you generally have around 40 to 50 seconds to unscramble each one. So ETS doesn't give a strict per item timer, but the recommended pacing is 45 seconds per build a sentence item. So this gives you enough time to read the prompt, quickly identify the grammar pattern, arrange the chunks, and do a 1 to 2 second final check. So you should practice this, and you want to get fast, really fast. Expect about 6 to 8 sentences. So for the 2026 TOEFL Writing Task, build a sentence, ETS indicates you will see about 6 to 12 sentences total. The minimum reported is 6 items, maximum reported is 12. So the expectation here is around 8 to 10 items for most test forms. So because task 1 lasts roughly 6 to 8 minutes, this range makes sense. It averages out to about 45 seconds per sentence. Task 2, write an email. Sounds easy, right? 1 email, 7 minutes. Respond to 3 to 4 bullets. Polite, clear tone. About 120 to 180 words. In task 2, you'll write a short, practical email based on a real situation, a problem, a request, a question. The key is addressing every bullet point and keeping your tone polite and professional. And I wish some of my native speaker students I teach at Cal State University San Bernardino, if they need to do this, because I'm telling you, many native speakers do not know how to write a professional email. They simply don't know how to do it. So here's the email structure template here. You have a subject line, greeting, paragraph 1, purpose, paragraphs 2 and 3, you address the bullets, you have a closing, and then your name. So use this simple structure every time. It keeps the email clear and organized, and it helps you make sure you include everything the prompt requires. Here's an ETS style prompt for a sample email. It'll say something like this. You missed an important team meeting this morning because you had a medical appointment. Write an email to your supervisor explaining the situation. Your email should apologize for being absent and explain why you could not attend. Ask what decisions or updates you missed during the meeting. Request guidance on how you can catch up on any tasks or materials. Write your email in a polite and professional tone. So here's a sample response that would score high. According to the rubrics, this should get a perfect score. Subject, following up on today's meeting. Hello, Miss Rivera. I'm writing to apologize for missing this morning's team meeting. I had a medical appointment that I was unable to reschedule, and it lasted longer than expected. Could you please let me know what decisions were made and whether there are any tasks I should begin working on right away? If there are materials or notes I should review, I'm happy to look through them today so I can stay on track with the project timeline. Thank you for your understanding, and please let me know how I can best catch up. Best regards, Michael. Now, I want to point out one thing a lot of people may not understand, but When we use the word, there's three ways to refer to women in professional workplaces. You can use the word miss, M-I-S-S, which means unmarried. You have Ms., which is MS, Ms., which means don't know, don't care. And then you have Mrs. Mrs. means married. So in professional communication, it isn't important if the person is married or not. It's better in professional situations to refer to a woman in a title as Ms. Rivera. That's why I have here MS, just so you know. Okay, number one, what you just saw, it fully addresses all required points. So it does what the task requires. The writer apologizes clearly in the opening paragraph, explains the situation, medical appointment, could not reschedule, lasted longer, requests updates from the meeting, asks how to catch up, and offers to review materials immediately. This satisfies all prompt requirements without missing anything. Number two, it follows a logical, clear organization. The email follows a professional, easy to follow structure. The purpose paragraph, apology and explanation. Request paragraph, ask what was missed, plus request tasks and offers proactive actions. Closing paragraph, polite appreciation and a final request. The paragraphs are short, focused, and sentenced logically. Number three, professional and appropriate tone. This is probably going to be very difficult for many non-native speakers, in my opinion, because it's hard to know the right tone. You don't want to be too informal. You don't want to sound like a research paper. You want to choose what we call the right register. So the tone is polite, it's respectful, concise, solution-oriented, and phrases like, could you please, thank you for your understanding, and I'm happy to look through them today, match typical workplace communication. So remember that the tone is the writer's attitude toward the subject. And tone isn't indicated by just a single word, but it's an accumulation of words and sentence styles throughout the email that creates that tone. Okay, number four, strong language use. The email uses accurate grammar, uses a perfect tense, modals, conditional phrasing. It has clear vocabulary appropriate to professional writing. It has varied sentence structure, simple and complex sentences blended well. There are no grammar or punctuation errors that impede clarity. Highly effective communication. So this puts it at the CEFR C1 to C2 characteristics. The message is clear, reader understands the situation instantly, efficient, no unnecessary detail, purposeful. Every sentence contributes to completing the task, and this demonstrates the clarity and precision expected of a top scoring response. Task 3. Academic discussion section. This is already on the current TOEFL exam, and they're putting it on the next one. You read a professor plus 2 classmates. Your goal is to write a 100 to 140 word discussion post. Give your opinion, respond to classmates. You have 10 minutes to do it. So task 3, it's like posting in an online class discussion. You share your viewpoint and respond to at least one of the classmates. The goal is clear reasoning with specific examples. High scoring structure. This is a good strategy for you. You might want to write this down. State your position, give a reason plus example, respond to a classmate, summarize your point. So this structure is the easiest way to score 5 out of 5. State your idea, support it, respond to classmates, and finish with one concluding line. How easy is that? Sample academic discussion. So let's take a look at what it looks like so you can kind of know what to expect. So you'll see a professor's prompt. As part of our unit on technology and learning, I'd like you to discuss whether artificial intelligence tools should be permitted in university courses. Some instructors believe AI supports learning, while others think it reduces students' critical thinking. What is your position? Refer to your classmates' posts as you explain your view. Now remember here, the goal here is to not just restate or summarize what everyone else has already said. You need to contribute. You want to add something new to this discussion post. So student A says, AI tools should be allowed because they help students understand difficult material. These tools can simplify complex explanations and make learning faster for many students. Student B replies, students should not use AI in university classes. It prevents them from developing independent thinking skills, and many rely on it instead of learning to solve problems themselves. So that's what you're going to see there. So you have to kind of understand it. Now the question is, what's your opinion and which student do you want to reply to? And do you want to agree or disagree with what they've said? And you got to think of these things very quickly because you have only 10 minutes. So this is a tough one. I'll be honest with you. This is a challenging task, especially with the 10-minute time constraint. So here's a model response of what it might look like. I agree with student A that AI can improve learning, especially when students are struggling with complex topics. For example, last semester I used an AI tool in my chemistry course to break down molecular reactions into simple steps. That explanation helped me understand the concept more quickly than the textbook did, and I performed better on my exams because of it. However, student B raises a reasonable concern about students becoming overly dependent on AI. Still, I believe this problem can be avoided if instructors set clear guidelines, such as allowing AI only for clarification, but not for completing assignments. With these boundaries, AI becomes a supplement rather than a replacement for student thinking. For these reasons, permitting AI with appropriate safeguards is the most beneficial approach for supporting student learning while still encouraging independent problem solving. So this response scores a 5 out of 5 because it states a clear position immediately. The writer clearly agrees with student A and explains why. It includes a concrete personal example. The chemistry course example is specific, realistic, and demonstrates the benefit of AI. Engages directly with a classmate. The writer acknowledges student B's concern and addresses it with a reasonable solution. It shows logical flow and strong transitions. Words like however, still, for these reasons, guide the reader smoothly. It uses accurate, varied grammar and vocabulary. The sentences are well structured and easy to understand, so this matches the CEFR C1 performance. So academic discussion practice tasks, physical education requirements. So how about you practice now? Remember that seeing is good, hearing is better, but doing is best. So when you do something, you're going to remember it a lot more than just if you see or you hear about it. And this is what you want to do at YouTube. When you're using YouTube videos like this one, you want to practice. Don't just watch a video, but try to practice what's being taught in the video. Okay, professor's prompt 50 words. So here's what the professor says. Universities are debating whether to require at least one physical education course for all students. Supporters argue that regular exercise improves mental and physical health, while opponents believe college schedules are already too demanding. What is your opinion? Refer to your classmates' comments as you explain your reasoning. So now we have two students who have discussed the topic. So student A says, universities should require physical education because many students do not exercise regularly. A mandatory course would help them stay healthy and reduce stress during the semester. And student B replies, PE should not be required. Students already have full class schedules, and adding another requirement would make it harder for them to focus on their major courses. Your task, write a 120 to 140 40-word response in which you state your position, support your idea with reasons and an example. You respond to at least one of your classmates. So think about those ideas. So take a minute, pause the video, and write a response. And you can compare to the model response in the next part of the video. Okay, here's a response that would score very high. I agree with student A that universities should require at least one physical education course because regular exercise has a strong impact on both mental and physical well-being. Last year, I took a required fitness class at my community college, and it helped me manage stress during midterms far better than in previous semesters. The class also encouraged me to build a consistent exercise routine that I still follow today. Student B argues that students already have heavy workloads, but I believe a PE course actually supports academic success. Even one short session of exercise can improve concentration and energy levels, which helps students perform better in their major classes. For these reasons, a physical education requirement would benefit students' overall health and academic performance. So how does yours compare to this? Now, you always notice whenever I provide examples, model responses, whether it's speaking or writing, I always encourage you guys to use concrete examples. This is crucial. That's why I put the example of the required fitness class at my community college, right? You want to use some specific example. Now, if you can't think of one, make it up, but make it sound good, right? Be creative. So why this response scores a 5 out of 5? So there's a clear position stated in the first sentence. There's a specific personal example demonstrating benefits. There's direct engagement with student B's argument, logical organization from claim, example, reasoning, and then conclusion. It's a natural, accurate language with smooth transitions. So, I hope you've enjoyed the video. So, do you want practice with real timing? Do you want to learn the patterns in more detail? Keep your writing clear, get expert feedback. Think about these things. So thank you for watching the video. So follow the entire playlist to master the new writing section. And if you want personalized scoring or corrections, check out my TOEFL speaking and writing feedback service at bettertoeflscores.com.